All right, call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the minutes of our meeting from 2 weeks ago, December 5th. Made an announcement that the independent consultant that we hired from Pace, that was not going to work out as we couldn't come to an agreement on what they were going to do and not do for us. Then we had old business, looking at Savalos, then a public hearing on the Holder lot line adjustment, and then Harlem Valley Homestead, and then appointment of consultants and the planning board secretary. And the planning board calendar for 2023, which you should see in your folders. And the meeting was adjourned. So need a motion to accept the minutes. Motion made by member Sador, seconded by Member Villano. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. Okay, the minutes are adopted by a vote of 5-0 with 2 absences. Okay. All right, now we'll move on to old business, Reamer Avenue Deli. This is for 2 Reamer Avenue in Dover Plains. Is this representative from Reamer Avenue Deli want to come to the microphone, or? No, it's okay. You don't have to. Okay. All right. Okay. So we have the site plan. The only major changes to the outside of the building are to put an entrance on Mill Street, to put in a concrete walkway behind the building so they can properly access their basement storage, and then the parking for both the apartment and then any customers of the deli.
Yeah, so that's the existing survey on the first page. The second page is the proposed amendment to the site plan.
Okay. And okay. So what we're going to be looking at tonight then is a resolution to grant amended site plan approval. Just want to see if any members of the planning board have any comments or questions on this before we go to our consultants. Anyone? No. Okay. Attorney Polidoro.
We received a response back from county planning. They had a few comments, but it was a matter of local concern, which means the planning board is authorized to move forward with the site plan.
Okay. Planner Winter.
Just to recap, Joe and I had worked on that markup, which is being used as the amended site plan. This site has a site plan dating back to 1991 for an office use with an apartment above. So this is serving as an amendment to that. And what we've done is basically working with the applicant. We've marked out some parking spaces, the north side, location for dumpster, a few spaces next to the garage. 2 of them would be for the apartment, I believe, or is it 3?
3 spaces.
3 of them for the apartment. And then there was existing ADA spaces down at the southwest corner there
Right.
that would stay.
Yeah, so two
Yes.
handicap accessible spaces there, 3 for the
And
apartment, and then...
When we talked on the site walk, we noticed that the path to the basement from the north side was all grass, so we suggested maybe adding in a walkway.
Mhm.
They seemed okay with that, so we marked it up on that plan too. The front entrance would be reused, that was closed off previously.
Right.
Yeah, and the ramp and entrance on the west side is going to be the ADA access. We did get comments from the county. I think originally they questioned the lot to the east, if that was part of this, but we cleared it up with them that the parcel access lines are incorrect, so don't rely on that.
Right.
So this survey is the property. And they also had some comments about parking, but Joe and I had gone over that, and, we think just working with the site that we have to work with here, and the fact that the old site plan had angled parking up there, we don't see any issues with proposing the 90-degree parking that we have shown.
Yeah, I mean, in my mind, to my mind, the angle parking seemed fine for an office setting where people might park their cars there for 8 hours, but if it's a deli where people are coming and going, the angle parking might be a bit much to navigate,
We concur.
every 10, 15 minutes or whatever. So. Okay. Anything further, planner word?
No, I think for seeker, we categorize this as type 2 already, a couple meetings back. So I think tonight a public hearing is optional, you didn't hold one, so tonight you're able to approve.
Okay.
If so desired.
Thank you, planner word. Engineer Berger?
No comments.
Okay, thank you. The representative of the applicant has walked in. If you'd like to speak, you're welcome to do so. At the podium. You do not have to. Then have a seat. Okay. Thank you. So having heard from our consultants, any members of the planning board have any further comments, questions? Nope. Okay.
No question.
All right, so we'll go to the resolution. Resolution to grant amended site plan approval. Reamer Avenue Deli, whereas the applicant, Jacinto E. Jimenez, contract vendee, has submitted an application for amended site plan approval to convert a portion of an existing structure, which was formerly a daycare, into a retail facility, a delicatessen, also known as the project, on a 0.29 acre parcel located at 2 Reamer Avenue in the Hamlet Mixed Use Zoning District, identified as tax parcel number 7063-11-573505, also known as the property. And whereas the property contains an existing 2-story mixed-use building with a 2-bedroom apartment on the 2nd floor that will continue unchanged, and whereas the property was granted site plan approval by the planning board on September 17, 1991 for office and retail space on the ground floor, a 2-bedroom apartment on the 2nd floor, and 11 parking spaces. And whereas the ground floor of the existing structure was most recently utilized as a daycare facility, and whereas retail businesses, including delicatessens, are permitted in the Hamlet Mixed-Use Zoning District, subject to site plan review, and whereas the project is depicted on a site plan entitled Amended Site Plan, dated November 11, 2022, also known as the site plan, and whereas no changes to the exterior of the building other than signage are proposed, no changes other than signage and a new doorway, correct?
That's true.
Are proposed.
Mhm.
And whereas the applicant has submitted a short environmental assessment form, an EAF, undated, pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act, also known as SECRA, and whereas pursuant to 6 NYCRR 617.5, subsection C, subsection 18, reuse of a residential or commercial structure, or of a structure containing mixed residential and commercial uses where the use is permitted in the zoning law as a type 2 secret action, and whereas pursuant to section 239-M of the General Municipal Law, the project was referred to the Dutchess County Department of Planning and Development, which responded on December 14, 2022, that it was a matter of local concern with comments, and whereas pursuant to sections 145-67D and 145-68D subsection 1, public hearing is not required for a minor site plan or a site plan amendment that does not represent a substantial change. Now therefore be it resolved that pursuant to section 145-65C, the planning board hereby waives the requirement of section 145-65B, as such information is not necessary for the review of the project. Be it further resolved that the planning board hereby grants site plan approval to the project as depicted on the site plan and authorizes the chair or is authorized designee to sign the site plan set after compliance with the following conditions. 1, payment of all fees and escrow. Be it further resolved that before the building inspector can issue a certificate of occupancy for the project, the application shall satisfy the following conditions. 1, installation of resident-only parking signage for the parking spaces dedicated to the property's 2-bedroom apartment. And 2, installation of a concrete walkway to the satisfaction of the building department to provide adequate loading access between the rear parking area and the building's basement. This resolution is being offered by Member Williams, seconded by Member Sador. Discussion? Want to wish you good luck. Yeah.
All in favor?
No. Anybody else want to say anything? No? Okay. Seeing no further discussion, the secretary please call the roll.
Chairman Courtine,
Aye?
Member Roman. Aye. Member Sador.
Aye.
Member Valano.
Aye.
Member Williams.
Aye.
Okay, resolution is adopted 5-0 with 2 absences. Congratulations. All right, next we have,
Yeah.
that's it?
That's it. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Next, we have a discussion and a continuation of a public hearing for the Holder lot line adjustment. Let's see. Give me one moment. Okay, so I have to save this resolution as we did change one piece. So you'll see the change on the resolution.
I didn't see the change. Oh, you
About adding
changed it?
about adding the doorway.
Doorway.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Just save it?
I did.
Oh, okay, fine.
Okay, Holder. All right. Good evening, Mr. Holder. All right. So we'll just have a brief discussion, and then we'll continue the public hearing, and then the planning board will decide about what happens next. So this is for Lands of Holder to acquire 0.043 acres from the Lands of Carrington to essentially cure the existing garage foundation so you can build a garage in conformance with the town zoning. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. I don't know if there's anything you wanted to add as the applicant? Okay. I have no further comments or questions at this time. Any member of the planning board have any comments or questions at this time?
No comments or questions.
Okay. Attorney Polidoro?
We received a revised plat at the last meeting.
Okay.
There was just there are 2 further changes that need to be made.
Right.
They need to put space on the resolution for the landowners to sign as owners, otherwise the county won't accept it for filing.
Not on the resolution, on the
I'm sorry, on the plat itself.
plat, yes. Okay.
And also, the chart on the upper right-hand side, it
Okay.
just needs to be filled out. It's required existing, and then it's missing the proposed
Sure.
for Lands of Holder.
Yes, yes.
Other than that, they had made all the changes that were requested.
Okay. So making those changes could be a condition of a resolution?
Could be.
All right. Anything further?
Not for me.
Okay, thank you. Planner Werner?
Nothing to add.
Okay, thank you. Engineer Berger? All right, thank you. Having heard from our consultants, any members of the planning board have any further comments or questions? Okay. All right, so I'll make a motion to continue the Holder lot line adjustment public hearing. Motion made by myself, seconded by Member Rahman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed say no?
When will this be continued to?
No, we're continuing it right now. So this public hearing is not continued. Any members of the public wishing to speak at this public hearing, please come to the podium at this time. Sir, would you like to say anything?
No.
Okay. Seeing no members of the public approaching the podium, I'll make a motion to close this public hearing, seconded by Member Roman. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor of closing this public hearing, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Okay, this public hearing is now closed. Vote of 5-0 with 2 absences. Okay, so closing of the public hearing. Attorney Polidoro, is there anything the planning board needs to do before the reading of this resolution?
No.
Okay. Let's see. And we need to, the revisions of the subdivision plat, as you discussed, are
Included as
Included as number
potential
4.
conditions.
Yep, okay. All right. So, resolution granting preliminary layout and final subdivision plat approval, Holder Carrington lot line adjustment. Whereas the applicant, Kate Holder, has submitted an application for approval of a minor subdivision plat to alter the lot lines of 2 existing lots for the exchange of 0.043 acres for a 1.1 acre lot identified as 7059-00-952313, aka the Carrington lot, and a 0.83 acre lot identified as 7059-00-971332, aka the Holder lot. And whereas the proposal is depicted on a minor subdivision plat entitled Lot Line Change for Holder, prepared by Jeffrey W. Donnellan, PLS, dated July 13, 2022, last revised November 18, 2022, also known as the subdivision plat. And whereas the lots are located within the SR zoning district, which has a minimum lot requirement of 1 acre, and whereas the lot line alteration will decrease the existing nonconformity of the Holder lot, and whereas pursuant to 6 NYCRR 617.5 C, a lot line alteration is a type 2 action under the State Environmental Quality Review Act. And whereas a duly noticed public hearing was opened on December 5, 2022 at the Town of Dover Town Hall and closed on December 19, 2022, during which all those who wished to speak were heard. Now therefore be resolved that the planning board hereby grants preliminary layout approval to the subdivision plat. Be it further resolved that the planning board hereby grants final subdivision approval to the subdivision plat and authorizes the chair as authorized designee to affix his signature to the subdivision plat after compliance with the following conditions: 1, payment of all fees in escrow; 2, Department of Health permission to file; 3, approval by the attorney to the planning board of a deed from Carrington to Holder conveying 0.043 acres and merging it with the Holder lot, along with an undertaking from the applicant's attorney that the deeds will be recorded with the Dutchess County Clerk. And 4, revision of the subdivision plat as follows. A, include a proposed column in the zoning table indicating the dimensions of the new proposed enlarged lot. And B, include owner signature blocks for Catherine Holder, Gustav Carrington, and Gloria Carrington. This resolution is being offered by
So moved.
Member Sador, seconded by
Member Williams.
Member Williams. Discussion? I think we're all set. Seeing no further discussion, Secretary, please call the roll.
Chairman Courtine,
Aye?
Member Roman. Aye. Member Sador,
Aye.
Member Valana,
Aye.
Member Williams.
Aye.
Okay. With that vote, resolution is adopted 5-0 with 2 absences. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
So can I ask, where else do I go to the building department to get the permit from them? How that works?
You've got to have your
I'll
surveyor.
have my lawyer take care of this.
Yeah.
Once that's done, and then the plat is filed with the county,
Mhm.
then you can go get your.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Have a good night. Thank you. Okay. So with that, our next meeting is January 23rd, 2023. We have already on the agenda discussion and public hearing for Stony Brook Estates, discussion and public hearing for Harlem Valley Homestead, and discussion and public hearing for Transco, not necessarily in that particular order. And then anything else that the planning secretary receives by the deadline of January 4th. And just remember now, the deadlines are Wednesdays. So that's Wednesday, January 4th for the Monday, January 23rd meeting. And then we'll have a meeting on February 6th. Any further business before this planning board? Okay, seeing no further business, I'll make a motion to adjourn, seconded by Member Roman. All those in favor of adjournment say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.